She stayed in Colorado for a long time, lied to us, had to send Colorado officers after her. She skipped out on her extradition bond and warrant out there, and missed one of her hearings there in Colorado. So it's been real hard to get her back from another state. Frankly, I don't want her in another state because I'm afraid I'm going to have to send another warrant after her. And she has ties to Alaska. If she ends up there, we have to skip over another country to bring her back. I'm sure one of the guys would like to go elk hunting while they're up there, but that's not a practical thing for the rest of us to have to do, and very expensive.
We are on the record in the 13th Judicial District, the District Court of Greenwood County, Kansas. Please make sure you're muted so we don't get the feedback. On the record in Greenwood County case number 2022, CR 136, State of Kansas versus Karras, Juno Green. The state appearing by and through County Attorney Jill Gillette, Miss Green appearing in person and pro se from the Greenwood County Jail, where she has a no bond hold. This is concerning charges of possession of opium, narcotic, or certain other drug, specifically the drug methamphetamine, a level 5 drug felony, as well as unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, a class B misdemeanor. Ms. Green, you've been on the run for some time, on the lam, as they used to say. Welcome back to Greenwood County. Have you heard from your attorney yet? We did notify your attorney that you were going to be back in court and that you were going to have a first appearance following your return. I don't know if Mr. Ambrose has had time to reach you yet or not. Have you heard from Mr. Ambrose? Could we get her volume turned up at the jail? I'm not hearing you. Still not hearing you.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I called him before I turned myself in.
All right. And so
he let him know I was in Kansas.
I'm sorry?
I called him before I turned myself in.
Okay. Well, let's see. We can either set this for an evidentiary preliminary hearing or set it for a preliminary hearing control. Ms. Gillette, appearing for the state, do you have a preference?
No, Judge, I don't really have a preference one way or the other. Her attorney on this matter was Mr. Ambrose at one time.
And he still is her attorney. Okay. And we certainly should have the drug lab tests back, don't we?
Her and the co-defendant. Her co-defendant, I believe he pled not too long ago.
Remind me what his name was, please.
I believe it was Mr. Berg.
Does that sound right, Miss Green? You and Mr. Berg were together?
Vehicle, yeah.
I'm sorry, can you speak up or get closer to the microphone?
In the vehicle, yeah.
Okay. You still have contact with him?
No.
Okay, you're not supposed to be, but just checking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Miss Gillette, again, you have lab reports or lab results back?
I thought we did because Mr. Berg just pled on them.
You think we need to set this for evidentiary hearing or set it for PHC? I don't want to lose track of her again. Well, so you don't have a preference, Miss Gillette?
I do not. I think Mr. Ambrose would probably like a PHC since he hasn't talked to his client in months and she's just now back.
Well, she said she talked to him before she turned herself in here recently. Missy, do you have any word on that? Did you hear from Mr. Ambrose yet?
I have not heard from him, so I was going to suggest that we put it on the PHC docket on March 3rd when I know he's going to be here, and then if they decide they want an evidentiary hearing, maybe we can get that set up.
All right. We'll set it for preliminary hearing control March 3rd. Now, if he calls us and lets us know he wants an evidentiary hearing before then, he can do that. But I am not comfortable turning you loose again, Miss Green. I credit you for your mother turning you back in. She probably didn't want to lose that money she put out. But, you could always get in a state of mind that you want to run, and then there you go again. So, between the stories you've told me and the absences you've had, I have you on a no bond hold now. Mr. Ambrose might argue that you're entitled to some type of bond, but I'd have to set it high enough that I know you're not going to take off again. Are you wanting to be heard on the bond now, or do you want to wait and talk to Mr. Ambrose?
I would like to discuss bond.
Okay, you're going to have to get closer to that microphone and tell me what you want me to consider.
If this courtroom trial has you hooked, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more intense trials and shocking outbursts. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks.
I mean, I would like to consider an OR bond with ankle monitor.
That's not going to happen, Miss Green. Can't trust you on that.
Or a 15,000 or 1,500 cash only bond.
1,500 cash only bond?
A 1,500 cash only bond.
That's
Yeah.
what, double what your mother paid the first time?
No, it is like a quarter of it. Like 1,500.
August 23rd, 2022, you posted a 7,500 cash bond, or your mother did, right?
Yeah.
And you're wanting me to reduce that bond now that she's brought you back to 1,500?
Well, when I got booked in, they told me my bond, I didn't have it. When I turned myself in, they said my bond was at 15,000. They didn't tell me I was on a no bond hold. This is new to me.
Well, there's a difference between 15,000 and at one time it was set at 15,000. But then
I only
missed a couple court dates. And after you told me you were in Alaska and you turned out to be in Colorado, and we were going to have to extradite you back, I said no bond, hold until you see me. So that's why you weren't given a bond when you checked in. But now I think I heard you say you didn't, that not 15,000 as it once was, but 1,500. Did I hear that right or not?
Yeah, it's only because I'm not from this state, and so the bondsman wouldn't
He wouldn't take a risk for you?
Yeah, and I bonded out in Colorado, and I have a bondsman in Colorado where I have a place to stay and a job. I had a job on that last court day. I was working at Wendy's, but then you wanted me to turn myself in.
But you didn't turn yourself in, did you? Not in Colorado like I told you to.
No.
And then your mom somehow got you in the car and drove you back here to Kansas. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did she do that so that she could get her bond money back?
No. I was in Colorado, and she's like, how about this? I was sitting in Colorado jail since the 14th of January. And then I got out, and then I turned myself in within the 7 days. And she was like, while I was in jail in El Paso County, she was like, how about this? I'll come see you and we can go to Kansas together. It was more of like, she wanted to see me more than like she wanted to turn me in. It was both of our decisions because I don't want to run. I don't want to have a warrant. I want to start my life. I want to have a job, you know? And when I got that job at Wendy's, I can go back there, you know, and so
Okay.
I just want to get this over with.
Let's see what Ms. Gillette has to say about your bond. Ms. Gillette, any recommendations from the state?
Judge, we were in the process of obtaining a governor's warrant for Ms. Green. So I want no less than $50,000. And, you know, I think an EMD is a good idea because she takes off. You know, she stayed in Colorado for a long time, lied to us, had to send Colorado officers after her. She skipped out on her extradition bond and warrant out there, and missed one of her hearings there in Colorado. So it's been real hard to get her back from another state. Frankly, I don't want her in another state because I'm afraid I'm going to have to send another warrant after her. You know, she has ties to Alaska. If she ends up there, we have to skip over another country to bring her back. I'm sure one of the guys would like to go elk hunting while they're up there, but that's not a practical thing for the rest of us to have to do and very expensive. So I think that a significant bond, maybe even 100,000, so that she isn't somewhere else. I mean, I just don't have any trust that she's coming to court.
Well, she's supposed to be a citizen of Alaska, isn't she? Isn't that truly her home?
I don't. Gee, you know, I just want to be able to get through the case before she takes off again.
Okay. And how did she get out of custody when we were doing the governor's warrant on her? How did she, I mean, as I recall, I witnessed your signature. You gave me an affidavit. Isn't this the case you did all of that on just a couple of weeks ago or less?
She had an extradition bond in Colorado. They gave her an extradition bond and she was out on an extradition bond and skipped out on their court as well. And she didn't want to be extradited back to Kansas. So I was in the process of getting a governor's warrant for her to bring her back to Kansas.
Well, and I thought I had a no bond hold on her.
You did, Your Honor. But evidently Colorado, even after this going through 2 times, does not honor your bond. They give them extradition bonds with the condition she turns herself in here in 7 days or goes back to their jail within that time frame.
The first time we tried that, she didn't go back to their court.
Exactly, Your Honor.
And then she showed up here by Zoom court, but not in custody. It's been one long convoluted mess trying to keep track of her. Thank you, Under Sheriff Cox, for that information. So I'm going to set your bond at 100,000. Now you and your attorney can talk, and if you do make that bond, it will require an electronic monitoring device. Then you're not, as a condition of your bond, allowed to leave the state of Kansas. But I even at 100,000, I'm leery, Ms. Green, because you've demonstrated to me that you have an unusual ability to get out of jail and get around and get folks to help you so that you're not in court. Your mother had no trouble coming up with the $7,500 cash bond. I can't remember what southern state she came back from a funeral to post that bond for you. So I'm just really concerned about keeping track of you, and I think that's what I'm going to set that at, to hopefully keep you in place. But once you and your attorney talk again, maybe we can revisit that bond issue. But at least in jail, I know where you are. I know you're being fed. I don't have to worry. You know, I've worried even about, is there a chance you've been trafficked by people, misused? Is that any concern that I justifiably should have? And remind me again what the tattoo on your forehead says.
It says Calypsia.
Spell it for me. Calypsia.
Yeah, it's Kalopsia.
Oh, you went way too fast. K-A what?
Lopsia.
Calypsia. And what does that mean?
It's the delusion of seeing things more beautiful than they really are.
And where did you come up with that?
I like words. I like looking at different words. Like,
okay. It doesn't represent someone's name or
no, it's just a
authority
word.
or anything
It's
like
Greek.
that. It's Greek.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I've told you I've seen forehead writing like that before. I don't know if it's the same word, but
No.
not only do I worry about what you've done to violate society's rules, but I also am concerned about you yourself and what kind of danger you pose to yourself as well as to others, the way you disappear. And so also, if you make bond, I want you to do a bond review every week. So you'll have to check in with one of our bond supervisors, and you'll be subject to random UAs. Make sure you're not using any illegal substances. Missy, do you want to let the jail know who her supervisor will be?
I think she had one from
Oh, I think she did too. It was,
before.
and she didn't keep the appointment, so that's kind of worthless.
So I'll have to check out and see who it was.
Okay, Miss Green, if you get out, don't keep putting us through this, because it's going to get harder and harder for you once we do keep up with it. Let's get this resolved.
Like I said, that's all I want is to get this resolved and start my life.
Okay, all right. Well, and Missy, when did you set this for? March 3rd at what time? 1:30?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else we need to address on this matter, Miss Gillette?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I'll get a hold of Mr. Ambrose.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure he has his lab reports and everything he needs. Anything you want to address, Miss Green, before I let you go back to the custody of the sheriff there?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You may go at this time.
This case wasn't just about bond amounts or missed hearings. It was a battle between trust and accountability. Judge Webster had to weigh personal concern against legal responsibility, and her decision reflected both. But what do you think? Should Charis have been given one more chance? Or was the judge right to be this strict? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for joining us and witnessing this intense courtroom moment. If this trial got you thinking, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more gripping courtroom moments as we continue to bring you the most shocking trials. See you in the next one.